Hello students, myself Archana Varude from Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology. In last video, we completed the type of voltage regulator, that is IC723 voltage regulator, and in this video we are going to learn about the different types of voltage regulator and what is meant by positive fixed voltage regulator, that is IC78XX, and negative fixed voltage regulator, that is IC79XX voltage regulator. And to avoid the difficulties in linear integrated regulators, they have three terminals, namely input, which is also known as unregulated input voltage, denoted by VIN. Then second terminal is regulated output, denoted by V0, and a common terminal also called as a ground terminal. And these regulators do not require any feedback, or they do not also require any external component for their normal operation. But by adding few components, we can increase the output current. And here it gives the three types of voltage regulator. First is fixed voltage regulator, and they are also classified into two types. First is positive fixed voltage regulator, second is negative fixed voltage regulator. Second type is adjustable voltage regulator. This adjustable voltage regulator, it is also classified into two types, that is positive adjustable voltage regulator, and second is negative adjustable voltage regulator, and third type is dual tracking voltage regulator. And as we have seen that the fixed voltage regulator, it is classified into two types. First is positive fixed voltage regulator, and second is negative fixed voltage regulator. And the popular IC series of the three terminal fixed voltage regulator are IC78XX and IC79XX. And this IC78XX, this series is known as a positive voltage regulator, and the IC79XX, this series is known as a negative voltage regulator. And here these last two digits denoted by double X, that indicate the output voltage rating of the 3-pin voltage regulator. For example, if we take that IC7805 voltage regulator, then its output is 0.5 volt. Then if we take IC7806, that means its output is 6 volt. And this IC78XX series voltage regulator, they are available with the fixed voltages of the range, that is 5, 6, 8, 12, 15, 18 and 24 volt. And this table gives the output voltage of that type. And we know that IC79XX, it is the series of negative voltage regulator, and it is available with the fixed voltages of -2, -5, -5.2, -6, -8, -12, -59, -24 volt. Here this first table gives the output voltage of the type, that is IC78XX series, and this right hand side table, it gives the output voltage of IC79XX negative voltage regulator. When we observe this table, then it is clear that if we take the IC7815, then its output voltage is plus 15 volt. If we take that 7905 IC, then its output voltage is minus 5 volt. If we take 7924 IC, then its output is minus 24 volt. And the IC78XX and IC79XX series of voltage regulators, they are also available in various versions of the packages, like low power and high power versions. And the low power versions are available in plastic or metal packages like small signal transistors, and the higher power versions are packed in TO3 type metal cans or TO220 type module plastic packages like power transistors. Here see this diagram shows the TO3 metal type package, and on right hand side TO220 type plastic packages. Then now we see in detail that is positive voltage regulator using IC78XX series. The unregulated DC voltage is applied at the input terminal pin 1, and the regulated DC voltage is taken across the load register at the output terminal pin 2. As we know that there are three terminals. First is input, second is output, and third is ground terminal. Here first terminal is connected to the unregulated DC voltage input terminal, then second is connected to the output terminal, and the maximum input voltage is 35 volt and the maximum dropout voltage is 2.5 volt, and for the output voltage, that is V0, the input voltage must be at least V0 plus 2.5 volt, because here dropout voltage is approximately equal to 2.5 volt. And here this diagram shows the positive voltage regulator using IC78XX. Here there are two capacitors are used, that is C1 and CO. The input capacitor C1, it is called as a bypass capacitor, and its value is approximately equal to 0.33 microfarad. The second capacitor is CO, that is called as output capacitor, and it may be connected across the load register RL, and its value is equals to 0.1 microfarad, and this capacitor also reduces the noise present at the output. And if the regulated voltage required is 5 volt, then the IC regulator 7805 it is used, and the maximum input voltage is 35 volt and the maximum dropout voltage is 2.5 volt. So for the 5 volt regulator, the input voltage must be at least 5 plus 2.5, that is equals to 7.5, and therefore the input voltage rating from 7.5 volt to 35 volt, and which gets regulated to 5 volt for 0 to 1 ampere load current. And the second type is adjustable voltage regulator using IC78XX. In earlier slide we see the fixed positive voltage regulator, and this is the adjustable voltage regulator. Here again IC78XX voltage regulator is used, that is the fixed voltage regulator, but it is possible to obtain a variable output voltage using it. And here the output voltage is changed by varying the potentiometer, that is variable resistor R2. For that see this diagram. Here R1 resistor it is a fixed resistor and R2 it is a variable resistor. In short it is also called as a potentiometer. And the output voltage is given by the equation V0 is equals to VR in bracket 1 plus R2 upon R1, and where this VR it is the regulated fixed voltage of the regulator IC. If we take one example, that is VR is equals to 8 volt for a series 7808 IC, then this equation 1 shows that the output voltage V0 will always be greater than or equal to the regulated output voltage VR, and the variable resistor R2 can be used to adjust the output voltage, and hence R2 is the output voltage adjusting potentiometer. Then dual tracking voltage regulator. If you observe this diagram, here two ICs are used, that is IC78XX and IC79XX. And as we see in the earlier slide, that IC78XX it is a positive voltage regulator and IC79XX it is the negative voltage regulator. Therefore, it is called as a dual tracking voltage regulator. The voltage regulator IC which provide the positive as well as negative voltage of same amplitude at a time and also tracks these voltages to maintain them constant is called as a dual tracking voltage regulator. And the dual tracking regulators provide the positive and negative regulated voltage of same amplitude at a time. And in addition to this, these voltages are tracked to maintain both positive and negative voltage constant. This means that if the positive voltage decreases, the negative voltage must also decrease such that the magnitude of both the voltages are maintained constant, and these type of regulators are used normally in operational amplifiers. In short, it is called as op-amps. And the value of the capacitor C1 may be about 0.33 microfarad, and it prevents the oscillations that causes the erratic operation. And the value of the capacitor CO may be 0.1 microfarad, and it improves the transient response of the regulator, and it also reduces the noise present at the output. And the two diodes are used, that is D1 and D2, and they are protecting diodes. The IC79XX series of regulator IC provides the negative output. The red and green LEDs are used for indicating the status of positive and negative voltage respectively. And if IC7805 and IC7905 regulators are used, then circuit provides the output voltages of plus and minus 5 volt. And if IC7812 and IC7912 regulators are used, and then it provides the output voltages that is positive as well as negative, that is plus 12 volt and minus 12 volt. And the advantage of this method is that it can supply a wide range of voltages at much higher currents. Then what are the applications of IC78XX series? The first application is 7805 IC. It is used to produce the positive 5 volt regulated DC voltage. Second is 7812 IC. It is used to produce positive 12 volt regulated DC voltage. Then we can use 78XX regulator ICs to produce a variable output voltage, and that two ICs, that is 78XX and 79XX, it can be used to form a dual polarity, that is positive and negative regulated DC power supply. That's all about this video. Thank you.